classes bourgeoisie, giving away free MP3s. Root stakes so deep, underground smoke screen. Herd of rabid sheep, hope you get what I mean. Try not to oversleep, melatonin and caffeine. Making tracks dirt cheap, the lyrical marines. Tongue twister savages, nothing left to salvage. Hip-hop is our language, the whole fucking package. If you cross this passage, you better micromanage. Turn your head into cabbage, you'll need more than just a bandage. Verbal pyrotechnics, equipped with some relics. A couple of skeptics, and a full fucking cartridge. Lines of skilled archers, some wisdom and some knowledge. Clean up your garbage, and go back to fucking college. We continue this vision long after your submission. Sacred repetition, no knocks in the transmission. Hard rhyme disposition, needed for the expedition. Learns on the mic, making this shit a tradition. Learns, burns, tracks, every direction that he turns. The redwood's upturned as he addresses his concerns. The point of no return, that meeting was adjourned. Excellence is preferred, delivered by stealthy birds. Wilkshake spear, carved from a learning tree. Tipped with cast iron from a bloody killing spree.
Guys, we're back. Thank you for being here. Subscribe to that notification bell, like this video, share it with your friends. We just had a Bliss and Esso track. We got another Aussie group, and this guy has really, strummed my cards. He did that song where he's in the cab and he was talking about this dude that fucking RAPE'd his sister and fucking, and it was the cabbie, and he ended up shooting him at the end of it. And after I heard that, I'm like, okay, this guy's intense. But he's like one of those, he's kind of like me, where he's extremely mentally ill. But somehow makes it work, and I appreciate that. I relate to this guy. I could see him having schizophrenia, to be honest, like me. I don't know if you knew that, Joe. While we were making tracks together, dude, I was mad skitzed out, suffering big time from schizophrenia and undiagnosed, unnoticed. Didn't even know what it was. When I was doing all that hip hop with Spit Boss, I was fucking manic. The entire time I was manic. I was sleeping an hour and a half a night. And passing out narcoleptic, basically, because I didn't. Anyway, we'll get into that. We'll get into that story another time. But complete really does it for me, dude. And Bliss and Esso, dude. I just that was brutal. I'm sorry. I'm still getting over it.
Really quick, Nico said there's some text at the start of the song that you might want to read. Just gives the song some more context.
For unique, for complete.
For in the very beginning, yeah. In the beginning of the video, there's some words there.
Okay, I'll read them. I recorded this song 1 year ago while attempting to overcome my alcoholism. I was learning to live sober again. Regrettably, I relapsed before the song was set to release. I spent the rest of the year in a downward spiral, only releasing one solo track.
Regrettably, I hope this shit ain't gonna depress me.
I know, man.
I mean, in fairness, that's kind of the focus of half his music.
That's true, though. Yeah, that's true.
His alcoholism and his recovery, and
yeah, that's true.
Dude, when you're okay, so let's just be honest. Okay, obviously I'm an alcoholic, but there is a difference. There's functional alcoholism, dude. I run a business and don't fuck up, and run a good relationship, and I'm a good father, but I drink all the time. And some people can do it. And some people can't. And sure, I might die young, but I fucking love my life. That's the biggest. And I'm gonna live old because I love my life so fucking much. That's what you gotta do, is just love your life. Do whatever you have to do to love your life. That is the most important thing. And I forgot what I was going. But dude, some people. And then when you get sober from alcohol, and you're one of those people where alcohol owns you, where you don't own the alcohol. I own the alcohol. If I don't want to have a drink, I don't have a fucking drink. That's probably till about 6 p.m. After 6 p.m., I'm fucking bottles up. but I don't day drink. I don't get drunk all day. And I have control over it. I own the alcohol. The alcohol doesn't own me. Some people, the alcohol owns them, and I see that as some kind of I don't know, dude. It's gotta be genetic. It's gotta be something genetic where you're predisposed to alcoholism and severities that we can't understand. I don't know what it means to wake up and I want to have a drink. When I wake up, I'm hungover from the night before. The last thing I want to do is have a drink. Why would I drink? That's ridiculous. And if Complete was an alcoholic and is now not, great. But I find, and I
don't think that's how it works. It's kind of a, once you are, you always are sort of thing.
Yeah, once you are, you always are. So I'll always be an alcoholic, but I'll always drink, I guess. I'm like Bert Kreischer, that comedian?
Yeah.
That's what he says. He says, I love alcohol. I'll always drink. That's the thing. And I probably will. And I'll probably be a functional alcoholic for the rest of my life. Some people can't do it. I can. I guess I'm lucky. I can be successful while being an alcoholic. Unique, complete. The only reason I wrote this, let's get into it. The only reason I'm writing this we're gonna watch the video.
I hope the video don't depress me. Oh, here we are. Off to a rocky start already.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always in his feels. That's who he is.
He gets angry once in a while, though.
Most of the time, he's like angry sad.
The only reason I'm writing this is so this evening I won't be feigning to buy some piss. My mind is shifty, it's so deceiving at times. I know it's feeding me lies, but it's so depleting to try resist. I'm overheating but finding grips. I go to sleep but I won't succeed cause it's 9 to 6. I'd like to visit my bros, but even if I were to go and meet them tonight, I just know to see them's a heightened risk. I'm so overleading this life I live. I'm so over saying these rhymes exist. I'm overrating them over and freaking over. I'm over not being sober. I'm over being a whiny bitch. I just flow to beats as the timer ticks and flick a lighter as smoke releases inside my lips. This ain't for likes, a load of streams and subscriber clicks. I'm just trying to cope, that's the only reason I'm writing this.
Why make a video of this song? What crowd is he going for?
The only reason I'm writing this is so this evening there's no proceeding to slice my wrist. My mind is shifty, I know I'm needing a slice, but I don't believe that they're right, so there's no receiving advice they give. They might insist on a slow decrease when I try to quit, cause when I do I'll be prone to seizures and violent fits. Prescribed a fix, I hope this treatment is right. The dosage seems to be light and there's no repeats for these type of scripts. Now there's no relief, so the vice is switched. No more meds, I'm just overeating and lighting cigs. So defeated, I'm over being at home where I'm only seeing a sofa, but no, it beats the asylum bricks. So I chose to speak to this mic a bit. Though I was tired, it spoke to me like a cyclist. This ain't for hype or a post you see when you're liking clips. I'm just trying to cope, that's the only reason I'm writing this.
Okay, I have schizophrenia or something close to it. It's hard to diagnose me exactly because I have a brain injury. That's the problem. The brain injury makes it very convoluted for doctors to really manage. So the closest they've came to is major depressive disorder with mixed features. My mixed features means that I have mania and depression going on simultaneously. So whilst my body is depressed, my mind is manic. Always. My mind is always manic. That's why I do so much shit, right? And I'm sure I'm older. I feel like I'm older. I'm definitely more developed along the path of mental health than Complete is. He's suffering right now. Or when that song was written, he's still suffering. I'm not suffering anymore. And all I want to say is anybody watching, if you have mental health problems, dude, fuck, I got schizophrenia. I'm crazy as shit in a toaster. Would you put a piece of shit inside a toaster? Like, would you do that?
I'm crazy as shit in a toaster.
That's how crazy I am. Okay?
I mean, that is.
Would you, Chuck? Would you put shit?
It gets the point across.
Yeah, no.
I would not.
Be open with it. Be open with it. You're not going to put a piece of shit inside a toaster. I am that crazy, and I'm open about it. Just be. It's 2023, guys. You can talk about your fucking hardships. I suffered hard. I smoked, like he said, smoking butts one after another, sleeping an hour and a half a night, manic, worrying about your girlfriend or your friends or your drug dealer or your mind or your body, obsessing about if you're getting sick. I used to obsess about, like, am I getting cancer? Am I dying? What's going on? And just keep on fucking living. And what I realized is, dude, it just keeps on going, dude. Like, Complete, just keep on talking to psychiatrists, dude. Like, find the right meds. I found this medication, and it's amazing. It's like a switch got turned off. It is the exact thing I need And I also went through the, cycling through, trying things
weed?
out, testing medications, lots of weed. I was one of the. I had my weed license real early too.
A little bit,
like way before it was legal in Canada. But but those are the things I think that I don't like in rap. It's like that kind of suffering. It's just like keep that to yourself and affect people close to you with that. Don't try to affect the world with that. I don't want to take the worst thing in my life and try and make a living out of it. I don't want to do that. I want to leave that bad shit that happened to me in my past. And I don't talk about it. I don't I don't dwell on it.
Talking about it now.
I know, but because I'm recovered.
you talk about it all the time.
Yeah, but I'm successful. You know what I mean? I've succeeded. I'm happy, right?
Yeah.
And he's not. And you can sense that. I'm going to give that a 6. What are you guys saying?
Okay, so I believe that music like this has a time and a place, and it does speak to some people who may be feeling certain ways and help them get through times and get through things. Mm-hmm. I think this has come up before, but I think it has a lot to do with where we're, like you said, where you were at in your mental health journey. But I think as like where we're at in our lives, like I respect what he does, but those kind of tracks aren't my thing.
I don't dig it. I just don't think
I'd love
to sit down and have a conversation with him. Like let's shoot the shit for an hour and drink. Not drink a beer because he's an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. We're all alcoholics, right? Whatever.
Jesus Christ, Wilkshake.
What I would do, honestly, dude, like when I meet alcoholics, I know a bunch of them. I don't be friends with them. I can't be friends with you. Like it's hard for me to be friends with alcoholics because I have such a rational detachment for being a counselor at a detox facility for so long. It's like your life, I don't have what you have. I don't have the disease that you have. You can't be around me because I do everything you wish you could do. I drink when I get drunk and I don't rely on booze. And so it's really hard for me to be friends with alcoholics because they always want to. Because when I get done work, I work 9 hours. I want to have 3 or 4 beers and hang out. Sorry, Joe. I'm gonna whore myself. But dude, don't. Anyway, okay. It's hard for me to be friends with alcoholics. To be honest.
Can I get my score real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna give that a 6 as well.
6, presto. Sorry, when it comes to fuck.
Presto, get in there, bro. Jump in.
Get in there. Get it in.
I absolutely hated this song. I don't know if it was just a video. It just seemed like I didn't believe him. Like I don't know. I mean, he could be 100% telling the truth and going through everything. I just didn't believe him. It seemed like the video was just a little too much just in his face of me not believing him. I'm gonna give this a 5.
Wow, that's because he's still suffering.
I would like to hear another song by him because
he's
I
good,
think that
dude.
he's got something better, but this was terrible in my opinion.
Okay, that's okay. What are you saying, Chuck?
I'm gonna give it a 7 because I think he's good at what he does, this is a well-traveled area for him. But I think a lot of it's much the same complaints I had about Matt and I. Was that it's like
the same thing again and again.
Yes,
they can't get over their trauma. There's no joy. There's no anger. It's just trauma. Trauma.
But for what it was great. But if
I was thinking it.
So 7 for me. I wouldn't want to listen to like 10 of those tracks though in a row.
Right.
But if it was mixed into a playlist, I'd be like, all right.
What are you saying, Joe?
I'm gonna have to agree with Chuck on this one. When I heard that song, like the video was a bit much, like Presto said. I agree with you, Presto, 100%. The video was a bit much. He got his fresh whites on in the middle of some wet ass forest, getting them all dirty and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't expect to like that song as much as I did. I expected to hate it. But to me, that guy was like the Australian Vinnie Paz with his cadences and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The way he was bringing, sounded like Vinnie Paz without that griminess to his voice. You know how Vinnie Paz does. You know, with the griminess.
And he does.
You know?
He does get that griminess a little bit too when he.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure that he can. And then you're starting to tread on Vinny's block. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. You don't want to copy the man, Vinnie Paz. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
But I enjoyed it. I didn't think that I would. I'm going to give it a 7.5. We give it a 7.5.
80% say yes, so that is going on the playlist. So we're going to have to reflect on our mental health at least once every 3 or 4 months when it comes up on the plays when you're in the car. That's for me anyway.
Or skip it.
Or skip it, but I can't skip it while I'm driving. Actually, no, they got it on the maybe.
The car stereos did away with buttons decades ago.
But now we got Wombat. We're on dude, I'm behind on shit. I'm the tech guy. I know the tech that I use for the podcast.
Don't worry, man. You got this in the bag.
I got it in the bag. I'm bagged.
Your car still has a tape deck in it.
Oh, I wish it did until me and Emily actually our truck that we had down in Souk about 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, but he took the buttons out.
Nope, didn't take the buttons out.
Only automatic play forward. That's it. No skipping, no pausing.
No rewind, no pausing, nothing. Okay, let's get to that.
Bearded soldiers enraged, moving big boulders. Their egos smolder with their separated shoulders. The straight flush holder, lawn chair unfolder. We're dimensionally older. Wilkin, Damo, Cole Smolder. If I told her to order some black boots and mortar, she'd turn into a pocket hoarder, thinking nickels were quarters. These young powder snorters getting shorter and shorter. Public domain reporters, just pop rock exporters. Hip hop is the victim, displaying its obvious symptoms. Molecular prisms shedding their infinite wisdom. All of our necks have been stricken with pure wicked, just as we depicted. Politicians becoming crickets, beyond this point restricted, so prepare to be convicted. The wizards all predicted that our directions would get twisted. A world lost in pop rock, with babies wearing aqua mohawks, leaving masses all shocked with their lips and shit crock. I sink lips because I control the world's brains. I'm that motherfucker giving your favorite shirt new bloodstains. Another inch on your back that you just can't seem to reach. I'm that look